So if you're thinking about being a mom influencer, or you already are a mom influencer, you understand how overwhelming it can be to begin something like this or try to sustain something like this so that you can be a successful mom influencer, mom boss, okay, amidst all the overwhelming chaos that we deal with. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get into it. My name is Chauntel Delgado, and I am a mom influencer and an organizational development consultant. And I'm here to help other women and mom bosses to create a business and a brand that matters, because I want to help you to do more of what you love with online video. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about, like I said before, this overwhelming feeling. How can we get through this overwhelming feeling, whether we are already an influencer or we're trying to really build our influence in our community? How can we get past the overwhelmed part so that we can move into being successful and getting things done? All right. These are some things that I've done over the last 2 years that have really helped me move into creating a brand that is really making an impact and really being able to reach people. And that is what really matters to me. And I want to help you to do that. So the first thing that I would say is consistency in life. Many times when we have newborns, it's really hard to have a consistent schedule when we're moms working part-time and our days are always different. So it's really hard to create consistency in your life. And one of the things you'll hear from lots of content marketers out there is that you have to have consistency, produce consistently, this and that and this and that, all these words around consistency. And I do speak a lot about that on this channel. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do so. And that's so important. But before we can produce consistent content, I realized that we need consistency in our lives first. I needed consistency in my life before I could start producing consistent content. And for me, that meant the very last tip that I'm going to give you is really going to touch on what that meant for me. But what I will kind of tease for you here is that meant finding time in my day that I knew that I had complete control over, okay? So you have to create control in your life where you can. And it's a little bit of chaos when you're a mom, but it's possible if you can carve out that little bit of time that you know for sure it's gonna happen. That's the only way. When you have consistency in your life, then you can start creating consistency in your content. Quality over quantity is my second tip for you. I know a lot of people are out there saying, you know, post every week, post every week, post every week. And it is important to post as much as you can. And I don't want you to think posting every week is not effective, because it is great if you can do that. But I don't want you to feel like if you can't post every week that you shouldn't post at all. And then you just, you know, fall off and just don't ever start producing the content. Because if you're producing something for a specific person and they value what you do, they will come back and they will watch you even if you're not posting every week. How do you think that fashion has survived all this time? We don't have to put out, you know, new clothes every single week for people to grab onto the trends. We don't have to put out, you know, a new book every week for us to gravitate towards a great book. If it's great content and it's a great person and they're consistent across the quality that they're putting out, and that quality is for you, you're gonna come back and watch it. That's why the Avengers, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, my husband got me into this whole Avengers world, you know, the whole Marvel universe and everything. That's why people would go back, see those movies, you know. It didn't have to be every week. You know, it was however often it was, once, twice a year, however often they put out the movies, we go and watch them because of the quality of it. It doesn't have to be so much quantity, but quality. So I don't want you to feel like, because many times I know when I hear all these content marketers out there, these experts, and they're talking about put it out every week, put it out every week. that can make you feel like you can't put it out, but you put out what you can put out as often as you can, and you get those people's information so that when you do put it out, that they will, grab hold to what you're doing. The more often, the better. Shout out to all my daily vloggers out there. But it's really about the quality, and that is my perspective on that. Number 3, you have to have a brand identity. And that really touches on what I just talked about. If you build a brand that people can identify with, no matter if you're posting, twice a month, if you're posting once a month, if you're posting every day, if you're posting once a week, those people will come back to you because you have built a brand identity that they can relate with and that they want to be a part of. If you have not yet started to build your brand identity, then you should absolutely download my free brand identity chart, okay? It will walk you through the process of beginning to build this amazing brand that you were created to develop, okay? And I will put the link to that free brand identity chart in the description box below. One thing that I learned, because I've been on YouTube for 10 years, gosh, you guys, I'm almost to 11 years. Is you have to know who your brand is if you want other people to become a part of it and stick around and be a part of what you do. And if you do that, even if you aren't posting every week, you will still get that following. Number 4, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's because you're putting too much pressure on yourself to get all of this stuff done. And so my 4th tip for you today is celebrate the small wins. We get so caught up in these huge goals, these huge things that we have to get done, that we forget to stop and appreciate where we are, where we've come from. So kind of another tip within that tip is have some goals, realistic goals. And you guys have heard me talk about this. Have some realistic goals that you can actually accomplish. And once you have that, then you can celebrate those small wins, the small things that you're getting done. And there's, lots of stats out there, some psychological research that's been done that says when you check things off of a list, it just makes you feel better, right? You feel like you got stuff done. It just makes you feel accomplished. You feel less overwhelmed, and you kind of give yourself a pat on the back, and you should, because you're already balancing so much in your life. And so when you do something great, you accomplish your to-do list, you need to celebrate that. You need to be happy that you did that. You need to give yourself that extra, look, smile. Positive affirmations is another kind of fun tip. Really help with that. So write stuff down, remind yourself of the fact that you're wonderful and this is why you're doing this and you're reaching these people. Even if you're just starting out, know that the people that are going to find your content are going to be so glad that you created it. And that is amazing because you're able to touch other people. So celebrate the little things that you do. Number 5, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you really need to take time to understand what your audience needs, because sometimes we have all of these ideas. If you're a creative person, if you are looking to be an influencer or you're already an influencer, we always have this rush of ideas. I know I had. So today I was like, oh my gosh, I could make a video on this or that, but what is it that my audience actually needs? And from looking at my audience and knowing my audience, being a mom influencer myself, I thought, what is it that we all deal with, and what could be a topic that, even though this, I actually thought, okay, maybe I'll do this video on thumbnails. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And I will be doing a video coming up really soon on how I increase my click-through rate, okay, by a huge amount, like from 1% to 6% in a week. How did I do that? I thought I can make a video on that. But instead of doing that video, I decided, you know what? My mom influencers, they need some encouragement. They need to hear about this, working through this overwhelmed piece. I think that would be more valuable for my community, and that's what I'm going to give to them. So you really need to know who your community is. Then it will help you be less overwhelmed because you can produce the type of content that they're looking for, and it will kind of help you narrow down your focus and figure out exactly what to put out. And again, quality over quantity with that. Number 6, ask for help. If you're feeling overwhelmed in life in general, people are here to help us. And sometimes we don't feel comfortable asking for help. And that's because we want to take it on ourselves. We want to do it all ourselves. But what you will learn is that the people around you, they care about you and they want to help you. And if you need help, you need to ask for it. Even if it's 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, all that time adds up, and it really can make an impact when you're trying to build a business as a mom. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And along with that, don't be afraid to say no, because sometimes you're gonna have to if you wanna be successful. My very last tip that I'm gonna share with you today, and this is the one that I said that I've changed this in the last 2 years and it's really helped me a lot, is having a block schedule. Okay, so saying from this time to this time, I'm designating that for this. From this time to that time, I'm gonna designate that for this. And for me, that can be difficult because my day job is a substitute teacher. And sometimes I cannot determine how my day is gonna go. But on my lunch break, I know I'm gonna have that every day. If I wake up and I was doing really good at waking up, and I haven't been doing as great lately, but this morning I did. I woke up at 6 and it gave me an extra hour. I was able to do meal prep for my husband. I was able to do my hair. I was able to get things together that I needed to get together. And it's so important that when I know my kids are not gonna wake up until 7 o'clock. So that's gonna give me at least 6 to 7. And God bless me today, they didn't wake up till 8 o'clock. But I know that I at least have that 6 to 7 hour, and I know that I at least have that 35-minute lunch hour that's mine, that I can do whatever I need to do with. So whatever the time is, if it's an hour, if it's 10 minutes, if it's 15 minutes, if 35, whatever you have, use what you have and block that time out and know what you're gonna do during that time, or at least have some ideas of these are the things that I need to get done, and I need to block it into my schedule. And as the days go on and the weeks go on, you will see that little bit of time that you put to the side really begins to add up. And these are my tips for you to take you from being an overwhelmed mom, okay, to be that wife, mom, boss, influencer that you are. And you just need a little bit of a push, a little bit of encouragement. If you haven't yet started, then get started. Figure out what your brand name is. I have a whole video on that. Start figuring out your brand identity. Download my chart in the description box below. I have a ton of content on this channel. If you're a mom influencer and you're trying to get started on YouTube, if you're trying to get started, just on social media in general, there's gonna be more content coming out for you on that. I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. We have to do our coffee break. So today, I want you to comment below and tell me, what is the most overwhelming part about being a mom influencer? What's something that you've really struggled with? I would love to know what it is. Maybe it will help us to produce more content. And also, if you haven't had that problem, maybe you're just wonderful, you haven't had any overwhelming, you're wonderful otherwise. Anyway, if you are one, because I know I am and have been overwhelmed. What are some overwhelming mom tips that you have learned that you feel like would help other moms out there? We want to hear about it in the comment section below. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the next one. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Again, my name is Chauntel Delgado, and I love you guys so much. Hugs and kisses. Hey, Jewel. You can stand out on YouTube. With over 1 billion active viewers every single month, there is no reason why your videos cannot capture some of the 1 billion hours of video watched every single day. You just need to know how to brand and market yourself. And I know how to do that, and that's why I want to help you. So enroll today in my YouTube Branding Master Course, Build a YouTube Brand That Matters. See what I have learned over the past 10 years as I've grown my following to nearly 5,000 subscribers on my Ask Chauntel channel, which is a dating and relationship advice channel where I help women just like you in their personal lives. In this training, I will teach you how to build and market your YouTube channel so that you can reach the audience that you were meant for. Today, we're going to be jumping into another channel review. So excited to bring to you. The channel is Body Culinary, all right? And she has like a health and fitness channel. So we're going to take a look at her channel. She's been on YouTube for about 8 years.